What's up, y'all? We are back with another haircut tutorial. In today's tutorial, we are doing a mid to low drop fade. So with my first guideline, I am using my trimmer to create that bald guideline starting at about the temple area, and then I am going a little bit down towards the occipital bone in the back of the head to create that shape for his desired look. Most of the time for my fades, I like to leave the hair at the bottom so that way I can see all of the dark spots in my fade, rather than starting my fade out with balding out all of that hair. It just allows me to be able to see my canvas a little bit better. So what I'm doing right now, I am starting with my lever all the way closed. Above that ball guideline, I created a lever open guideline with no guards, and then to blend out that guideline and blend it in to my next phase, I am going to start with my clipper all the way closed and then gradually open it as I go up in the fade. So the next thing I'm doing, I'm going about a half an inch to an inch up using my one guard open, and then to fade that out, I'll go in where that line of demarcation is. I'll go in with my one guard closed, and then I will open it as needed as I go up in the fade. And then I usually, depending on the hair texture, if it's typically a curly hair texture, I might go with no guard open to blend out that guideline in between the lever open and the one guard open. Or I may start with my 1/16 guard, starting with it open and then close, just depending on the fade. But right here, I'm using the corner of the clipper trying to blend out the area where the hair is thickest to the fade, just trying to skip a couple guards. So right here, you just want to be patient and follow your steps. Right here, I'm doing the raking method with my clipper all the way open, making sure I'm not pressing too hard just to lay the hairs down. And then I'm going to blend out that lever open to one guard open in the middle of that guideline, just to make sure the fade is nice and clean. The fade is looking good already, and I decided to just do this side, record this side, because you're literally going to do the same exact steps on the other side. So watch and learn. Right here, I'm just looking at dark spots, using my clipper as an eraser, being patient, being okay with my process. All right, you'll find different processes. You'll look at different tutorials and look at different people's process in which they follow to do their fades. But you can use all of those things and then make it your own. So right here, I'm just spot checking, using the corner of my clipper and not pressing too hard, so that way I'm not creating any more guidelines. All right, I'm not creating any more lines. I'm making sure everything is smooth. Going back to the raking method, messing with my lever, depending on the spot in my fade. What you want to do when you're doing a fade is memorize your steps, so that way you know where you are. So here, I knew I went with the one guard, so I need to go back with my one guard. I can't just be going all the way up with my lever open. Some cases you can, depending on your experience, but you want to remember where you were and then just go ahead and go over your steps. So right here, I'm just messing with the lever. I see a dark spot. If I don't hear anything cutting, then I'll close my lever even more. So this part, I believe people don't really teach. When you're getting rid of this hair, you want to be as gentle as possible. You don't know if that person has any bumps or any pimples. Like, you just really want to be as delicate as possible. There's been times that I've cut people when I first start out. There's been times that I cut people when I first started out cutting, and I'm just really careful, especially behind the ear area. So you just want to make sure you're being patient with everything that you do when you're cutting hair. So for the hairline, I already washed his hair before the service so that way I can create that natural hairline, ash. And right here, I'm just starting in the middle. I'll go to the left, and then I'll go to the right, try to make it straight, as straight as possible. It's just depending on your canvas. Like some people's hairline is just be going all over the place. Just make sure it looks natural. And you're going to have to push back a little bit depending on how their hairline is, but make sure it's not crazy. Every hairline is a pushback, essentially, but you just want to make sure that it's as straight as possible and it looks uniform to the fade that you do on the sides. So to create the pop in the hairline, create that contrast in between the skin and the dark area of the hairline, I'm just going ahead and using my barber pencil, using I think it's a light brown color, and I'm lightly sketching in this line, and then I'll blend it out with my trimmer, and then I'll go ahead and use the razor just to blend that line completely out, and just so it doesn't look like a harsh pencil line. I don't know what's up with that style nowadays, but you do not want to be that barber that uses the barber pencil and then the line looks all harsh. That looks crazy to me. So in this case, I really didn't need it, but I just decided to do it. I could have just went ahead and went over the hairline with the razor, but I don't know. I just felt like using the barber pencil. So you want to make sure when you're doing this, you're not applying too much pressure, and then you're just blending out the line just as if you're sketching and trying to blend out those shadows you're creating in the face. If you're drawing a face, you want to put some shadows in the face and you're trying to blend it out. You just want to act like this is your canvas. So this is your art piece. Go ahead and do what you need to do to create the best haircut you can. So with the razor, you want to make sure that you have a new razor blade for every single client. All right, you don't know what the previous client had going on in their skin. You may know them, but you want to make sure you have a new razor for every client, and it ensures that the razor isn't super dull and your lines will be as sharp as possible. So you need to make sure that every single time you have a new client, there is a new razor in your razor holder. So what I'm doing right here is making sure that my razor is at a 45-degree angle, going against the grain, going to the hairline, and creating that contrast in between the hairline and the skin, and getting rid of that harsh barber pencil look. So right here, I am doing some detail work. I'll go with my lever open, close it as needed. Then I'll go with my one guard. Usually I do my detail work without any guards, but in this case, I just seen some dark spots. So I just went ahead and went with my one guard just to get rid of some dark spots that I see, and just being patient with everything. And don't be afraid to go over your steps. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure everything is fluid, everything is blended, everything is as clean as possible. I don't care how long it takes. I'm gonna make sure it's clean. And then to finish off the haircut, I'm going with my lever completely open, going over the hairs just to get rid of those scragglies that may pop out, just to finish the haircut. And then the client also notices when you do these things. You're not just rushing, you're making sure everything is clean, taking your time. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.